Well, good morning, Jagender Rana here. The topic for our discussion today is property reinsurance. Property reinsurance. So, before we proceed further, let's understand what is reinsurance. See, reinsurance is the insurance of risk assumed by insurer. In other words, it is an arrangement whereby the insurer insures a part of risk again with the reinsurer in order to offload its liability. The terms of the transfer are set out in a contract between the reinsurer who assumes the risk and the reinsured who ceded the risk. A reinsured pays a premium to the reinsurer proportionate to risk transfer as per terms mutually agreed by them. In return, the reinsurer agrees to pay a portion of loss occurring under policies issued by reinsured. So, reinsured gets a commission that is called RI commission, reinsurance commission, on the premium paid to meet out its management expenses and acquisition cost. This is called reinsurance. Now, the terms commonly used in reinsurance are cedent reinsured, means company who seeks reinsurance and pays part of premium. Reinsurer means a company who accepts reinsurance premium and pays agreed proportion of loss under the treaty. Retention means maximum amount of loss which an insurance company is willing to absorb. Cession means portion of risk transferred to reinsurer. Line. A line represents the retention by ceding company. PPW means premium payment warranty. RI commission means part of RI premium, that is reinsurance premium, paid by reinsurer to reinsured as commission, also known as deduction. Risk XL means risk excess of loss, and CAT XL means catastrophic excess of loss. So these are the terms commonly used in reinsurance. Now coming to the classification of reinsurance. Reinsurance is always done by two methods. One is called facultative and second one is TT. Now the TT is again divided into two different methods, that is proportional and non-proportional. Proportional treaty could be quota share treaty, surplus treaty, facultative obligatory treaty, pool arrangements, and in non-proportional treaties you will find excess of loss and stop loss treaties. Now various reinsurance arrangements depends upon the following things like facultative. Individual risks are submitted to a reinsurer for a consideration. Coverage, terms and conditions are negotiated. The reinsurer may reject the risk. This is on per risk basis. Then proportional treaty or quota share or surplus treaty or facultative obligatory treaty. So there are proportional treaties. In this, all risk falling within the scope of the agreement must be ceded and must be accepted. Coverage is automatic. Non-proportional treaty means excess of loss covers and stop loss. So these are non-proportional treaties where reinsured retains a certain agreed amount in each and every loss called retention, which is also known as attachment point, and the reinsurer pays balance loss amount over and above the retention up to a maximum limit of liability agreed beforehand. Then comes pool accounts, terrorism pool and nuclear pool. So the facultative reinsurance refers to each risk is considered separately by the reinsurer, who has the option to either accept the full risk or a part of it or decline it in toto. So the premium depends on the nature and quality of risk, loss history, and net cat exposure at risk location. Proportional reinsurance means reinsurer accepts liability up to an agreed percentage share in each and every risk written by reinsured. So there is a compulsory sharing of premium and loss between the ceding company and the reinsurer losses according to a predetermined percentage of share. Cession is must for each risk under proportional treaty without selection. Say, for example, quota share treaty, surplus treaty, facultative obligatory, and pools. Now, what is quota share treaty? A fixed proportion of every risk in a given class of business is ceded. Then reinsurer shares proportionately in all losses and receives the same portion or same proportion of all premiums. The reinsurer in effect follows the fortune of ceding company. The quota share arrangement specifies a definite upper monetary limit any one risk. And GIC 5% obligatory treaty is an example of quota share treaty. 5% obligatory treaty. That is now 4%. So retention is always decided, pre-decided. Then comes to surplus treaty. A surplus treaty allows the ceding company to reinsurer under the treaty a part of the risk which is not retained in its own account. Here the ceding company decides the retention on each and every risk within the terms and conditions of the treaty and cedes balance to the reinsurer. Capacity is defined in terms of line. So a surplus treaty is arranged for multiple lines, a line being the amount of ceding company's retention. Retained portfolio becomes more homogeneous or balanced, can result in adverse selection against the insurer. Then what is retention? The amount of risk the ceding company keeps on its own account. This is decided based on company's financial strength and underwriting philosophy, keeping following thumb rules in mind. Then facultative obligatory treaty, also called auto-fac treaties. It has the features of both fac cessions and obligatory treaties. The ceding company has the option to cede, no compulsions as for facultative risk, and the reinsurer is bound to accept, no option to decline. As under a treaty arrangement, a share of the specified risk offered by the ceding company. So facultative obligatory treaty comes after a surplus treaty and gives automatic reinsurance facilities to the ceding company when surplus treaty has been exhausted. As far as pool arrangements are concerned, these are made to create a capacity to handle risk of catastrophic nature where the severity of loss may be very high, or to create local capacities and reduce the flow of reinsurance business outside the country. In India market currently two pools are running, terrorism pool and nuclear pool. So in this arrangement, full premium underwritten by all insurers in a specified category of business goes to a common fund called pool, and claims, if any, are paid to the respective company from the pool. All insurers willing to participate in pool, called members, would have to agree to for a specified percentage of the participation share, which is to be decided at the beginning of financial year. All pool members are offered their respective share of premium on retrocession basis, and all pool claims are recovered from participating members in the same proportion. The GIC acts as a pool manager, and they charge from each member some agreed percentage of total ceded premium towards the administrative expenses. Now profits, expenses and losses are shared in same proportion. So non-proportional treaties include excess of loss treaty and stop loss treaties. So this excess of loss treaties, under the treaties, reinsurer pays only if the loss net of all recoveries under the proportional treaty. And risk excess of loss treaty, this treaty is arranged for the protection of gross retention under quota share or surplus treaty. That means the insurer's retention Thank you.